sunlight begins to fade now, and I feel like I'm losing time, but I don't know how I'm here. The sunlight has turned to gray, and I feel like I'm losing love again. I don't know how I'm here. I could feel your heartbeat. I could feel somewhere you're looking down. I could feel your heartbeat. I could feel somewhere you're looking down. 'Cause it's you I'm loving, and it's you that I wanna breathe. And it's you I'm loving, and it's you that I wanna need.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Simracersworld TCR series. My name is Chaz Draycott, known to a lot of you as Chazlington, and we are here for rounds 1 and 2 of the championship from Brands Hatch at the wonderful Grand Prix circuit that you can see before you there. We have 2 races coming up for you tonight. The guys are just going out in qualifying, as you can see on the wonderful scenic camera there. We've got a fantastic grid of drivers tonight. It's going to be very, very exciting to see how these boys get on then. We have Andrew Hopley on screen there, just in front of you. These guys are on their first laps, and obviously anyone that's driven the TCR cars will know that this is not the easiest thing to get warmed up tyre-wise. And you can see beautiful green windscreen banners on some of these cars, and on some of them you will see blue windscreen banners. There are the blue ones. That is Craig Jones that we're looking at right now. So we get blue windscreen banners for the AM cars and green for the pros. Looks like Dean Tin's having a bit of a flicker around there. Here is Ben Thanes in the Rev Match esports car. Fantastic livery on that thing. Love the combo of the blue and pink. But we have the first qualifying session of the season underway now then. And the laps should start coming in quite soon, I imagine. I'm just going to hide the qualifying mode at the moment. There is Ben Thanes. And I'm very grateful because it looks like the class colour stripes on the side are working. I'm just going to change a little something on there. There you go, we've got overall positions now on the left hand side. So the blue and green stripes then, Pro and AM. Pro's green, AM's blue. And the lap times are starting to come in. So you can see there on the board, top at the moment is Thorstein Iserman. We'll see some of the sectors in the bottom then, which will start going up for some of these guys. Matt Madigan says, go Jake Robertson. Well, Jake is a good friend of mine for Apex Racing Team, and here he is in the number 22 car, one of my favourite car numbers. And just for you, Matt, we'll go on board with Jake. As he goes down the hill, you can see on the track map there, the beautiful shape of Brands Hatch. It looks like a very simple circuit on there, but because of all the oscillations and stuff, it's not. Oh, Jake's gone on the grass, and that's going to ruin his lap. That's a real shame for Jake. But you've got to carry on in these sessions and just crack on. Bit of a slide there as he goes up over the top of the hill. But welcome, welcome everyone. Thank you very much for popping in. It's much appreciated. And look at this split at the moment. Andrew Hopley goes top. He's going to be very happy about that in the Meraki racing car. Ryan Walker goes into 2nd place. And Hopley goes down to 3rd as Ben Thanes goes top. Looks like I need to update Ryan Walker because he is most certainly not an AM. There we go. Walker is now considered an AM. Connor Parisi, I was getting his name wrong last week. He's gone top at the moment. I want to show you their best lap times on the side there. So it's a 32.6 at the moment, so he's 0.3 clear. I tell you what, let's go for the gaps. Just so you can see the spread over the field. It's 7 seconds at the moment. Mark Woodhouse, he was very, very fast in the pre-season test at Donington last week, although he didn't fuel the car all the way to the end of the race, unfortunately. Lee Woodburn is the top am at the moment. Doing a cracking job. I am going to be editing just a couple of things over the course of the evening with the overlay, so if you do see anything change, please do ignore it. I'm going to be trying my best just to make sure that everything is completely up to date for these guys. I did get back home from work late as well, about 5:30, which was loads of fun. So we've got Woodburn and Woodhouse, and that's not the best of combos to put together. That's the Venom Works car that you can see there, XI Audio. No, not to be confused by these boys in the XI iRacing team. There's XI iRacing and XI iRacing Orange. Scott Malcolm goes 4th on the board. Jake Robertson goes to the top. Jake Robertson goes fastest for Apex Racing Team. He was top of the boards in practice, and he was saying that he was he was trying to sandbag in practice, admittedly. And we want some in-car footage of Hopley. Here you go. You can have Philip Hopley. Into the final corner he goes. Through clearways, beautiful corner. Ward goes up to 2nd. Lewis Ward, that is. Oh, and Hopley's all over the grass. Car doesn't go around on him, luckily. Let's have a look then for Gregory Vranks. Stephen DeWolf, welcome Stephen, mate. How are you doing? Good to see you, buddy. This is the first qualifying session of the season. The lighting looks beautiful as well. These TCR cars do sound great. And speaking of that, let's tell the music to do a shut up. And we'll do one of my favourite things and go on board with the gearbox and hear the rasp of the RS3 LMS TCR. You know, when you were 17 and you were modifying your Volkswagen Polo, that's how you wanted it to sound, isn't it? Let's face it, it was never going to sound the same. Top of the board looking very tasty at the moment. Lewis Ward 2nd for Meraki Racing. Out of the final corner he goes once again towards the line, the number 97 car. Thorstein Iserman is the top car. That's a brilliant livery, isn't it? He's the top car in AM at the moment, 10th overall, ahead of Adam McNally, just behind Matthias de Tige. Woodburn goes up to 13th place there. It is Chaz. Ethan, how are we, mate? Good to see you, buddy. We look now at Carl Jacquelet in the Year 1 racing car. Very bright livery on that. Little hint to you all as well, just in case you don't have enough hints with the blue stripes on the timing tower on the left-hand side. Any cars that start with the number 2 in front of their usual number means it's an AM car, so Thorsten Iserman, number 200, Lee Woodburn, number 213, Ryan Walker, 248, you get the picture. Matthias de Tige and Ben Thayens very close together in the middle of the pack. Gregory Vranks, not Beggery. Oh, Delmont displaces him as well. It's like 3 cars have just gone into 4th place. Jake Robertson's still on pole by 3 thousandths of a second at the moment from Connor Parisi. These two quite good friends as well from what I know. Yep. Andrew Hopley is racing tonight. Here he is in 8th position. Well, there he was. Woodhouse goes up to 5th. Good to see Mark back up there, up the order. A nice frantic qualifying session already. And we're not even halfway through the thing yet. 20 minutes of qualifying. Let's have a little bit look down the order. Carl Nugent for SCC Racing. It's just coming towards the end of his lap. He is in 20th place at the moment. Just behind him on track there is the number 215 car. That's Thies van den Berg. There are some names in here tonight that I may get wrong, and I do apologise if I do. But this is all stuff that we can work on week. Do let me know as well if the stream looks any good, or if there's any jumps or any stutters or anything that you can see. I know that we may still have an issue with our replay screen, where the graphic may be a bit too big for it. But we have 36 people watching at the moment. Thank you very much, everyone. Ian Roots joins us in the chat. He's taking over the chatty role. I'm going to make him look a bit silly now and wave at him from his own channel. There he is. Connor Parisi's gone top. Lewis Ward has gone second. Half a tenth covers the top 4. That is incredibly close by these boys. Amazing work. But Connor Parisi, pole at the moment. Iserman is still the top AM driver, sorry. Woodhouse goes into 5th, just ahead of Delmont. Clays goes into 16th. Ian who? Love it. Andrew Hopley at the moment down to 11th position in the Meraki Racing RS3. I say that like there's other types of cars in this race. There isn't. We'll just go off the qualifying mode for a moment. There he is in all his glory, puffing his chest out as he runs a bit wide. Good evening, Dupanton. Good to see you, mate. This is going to be a very, very exciting season, though, I tell you. It's going to be awesome fun. Can't wait to get all this underway. The first race, Rashid Kasim. He's the V-Racer driver out there tonight. And he did tell me that his livery was going to be white rather than where the grey bits are tonight, but seems not. We'll have to sort that as well. But these are the little niggly bits that we just need to work on. Vincent Chassonnet on track. I've got his name right. Because last week his name was the other way around. Same with his teammate, Sebastian Denis. Bouncing it off the limiter down there. We'll go back on board, just get a view of the wonderful, wonderful circuit that is Brands Hatch. And as Ian points out, we do have the top 16 cars within a second of one another. He's really bouncing off the limiter, isn't he? You can just feel the understeer. It's a very painful thing. Such a difficult track as well when you've got an understeery car as Brands Hatch. Terribly difficult. Here's Liam Silkstone for Excite iRacing Orange. Ollie says that Jake is struggling with traffic in this session. He's still 3rd at the moment though. Adam Delmont goes up into 6th position there, just ahead of Woodhouse. It's incredibly close up front in this series already. It's fantastic to see such close times. You can see there, half a second covers the top 10. That's amazing. Yeah, you will need a new gearbox in that thing, and I can't imagine they're cheap in TCR cars. Brittech Sim Sport well represented tonight as well. There is Fraser Smith. He is in 5th place at the moment in the number 67 car. It's great to see touring cars at Brands Hatch though, isn't it? And yes, you're right, Lee Deemer is top AM driver at the moment for Excite. Doing a fine job. Here's Alex Torres in one of my favourite liveries from last week. A lot of people will argue with me that there is a better yellow and blue car on the grid, which people are obviously going to be a bit more of a bigger fan of. But there is Alex on his lap now. You've got to try everything in these qualifying sessions. Sometimes you just got to push it that little bit extra. Of course, with it being a 20-minute session as well, you get a bit longer to try and secure a good time. 39 people watching at the moment. Hello everyone. Oh, and Sebastian Denise has just gone up a spot there into 21st place. Jeremy Hessels has gone up as well, just behind him. Maybe they give each other a bit of slipstream and helped one another out there. The Meraki fanboys are quiet, eh? Well, Lewis Ward is up. Well, he's parked under the bridge. Maybe he wants a bit of shade. Maybe it might be a bit too warm. Gregory Franks and Matthias Detige are very close together. Literally hundreds, or even thousands between them. 25 thousandths of a second between the two teammates. The fanboys are coming out now. The fanboys are certainly coming out. We'll have a look at the intervals between each driver. Incredibly close, isn't it? Look at that. 4 thousandths of a second between Iserman and Torres here. 8 thousandths between Edward May and Thies Vandenberg. Here is Edward May in the Fury Sim Sport car. The number 7 machine. Andy, we need a decal layer. Get a decal layer on him. Don't tell anyone. I'm trying to have a look up and down the order for Mr. Ryan Walker, who is usually very quick indeed, and he seems to be having a bit of a nightmare at the moment, does Ryan? He's one of the best MX-5 drivers around from what I remember. Either I'm getting him confused with someone else. But indeed, top of the AMS at the moment though, Lee Deemer and Carl Jacquelet very close together. Jacquelet only about a 10th off Lee. Parisi on pole. Provisionally, of course. 2.5 minutes left. Stephen, hello mate, good evening. Ollie says Lewis is awesome at sim photography. That's fair enough. I quite like my screenshots also. Be good to exchange some hints and tips. I tell you who else is good at them is Rashid Kasim. He does them for this series as well, and he does a cracking job. I will be providing the odd screenshot after these races of any podium finishes in class. So if you're going to make sure you're racing, then make it look good. Scott Malcolm at the moment is 11th overall in the pro category, just ahead of Andrew Hopley. Scott's been really getting on with the TCR car recently, and he was very happy about the fact he was promoted to the pro category. Go back on the gearbox just because I like the rasp. You can see there's a nice bit of clear track around Scott at the moment. Oh, Andrew Hopley goes into the top 10 for Meraki Racing. I can hear the screams from here. Still behind Franks. He splits Franks and Detige, actually. Hundredths of a second either side. Andrew really wrestling with the car to try and get every little inch out of it. And Detige, well, I'll tell you what. There's an improvement. Up to 5th place goes Matthias. Cracking job. Yeah, I agree on that one, Ian. By the way, if anyone does see Simracersworld TV speaking, it is Ian and not me. I'm not trying to have a conversation with myself at this point. 42 viewers. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming along. I'm going to make sure that we give you... Oh, there's one of the STC cars off. That was Andrew Payne, and he's going to be in a lot of pain now. Here's Scott Angelo. Currently 37th, the last car in the field. Trying to get some times together. Jez Banks of Fury Sim Sport, another car that we've not looked at yet. There's quite a couple down the order. Oh, he's got a slide on there. The rear wants to get away from him. We've also got Andy Fox, who's a privateer as well. Love the metallic number plate on the rear. We're going to have to go on to a chase cam. I know they're not realistic, but look at that. Oh, he's disappeared for a sec. There you go. Love the metallic number plate. That's fantastic. That's good banter, that. That's good use of the spec maps. Excuse the non-realistic camera. Good evening, Mr. Coughlin. How are you? And Jake as well. You choked P1. To be fair, Lewis, you are right. It is kind of my job to have conversations with myself, as Andy gives us a nice display in how quickly he can turn around a TCR car. Here's the Excite iRacing orange car of Dave Cyrus. Oh, someone was hitting the grass very close to camera there. Not quite sure who that would have been. No, it's Thies Vandenberg has gone off. And I'm going to just test something. Oh yeah, that's that image wasn't working there. Ah, okay, so it was Thies that set the noise of the cameras off. There's a wonderful transition for you that clearly isn't working, so I do apologise for that. Vincent Chastenay's just finished his lap. Edward May is chucking the car around. Silkstone's just gone off as well. Lee Deemer, we found a car that's still on the track. So we'll just watch Lee continue on his lap then. I know that Lee painted that car. And we're very excited about it. And that's the end of that then. So for the first time this season then, we should be able to give you a grid. And here we have it then. Mark Woodhouse, pole position in the end. I must have missed that, I do apologise. Connor Parisi alongside him with Lewis Ward and Jake Robertson on row 2. Then we have McNally and Detige, Smith and Delmont, and then Thanes and Gregory Vranks round out your top 10. Behind them, we have Andrew Hopley and Scott Malcolm. Then it's Lee Deemer and Carl Jacquelet. Then it's Rashid Kasim, Jeremy Hessels, and Alex Torres is 17th. Thorstein Eiserman is 3rd in the AM category. Of course, Lee Deemer qualifying on pole position in the category there. And then we've got Vincent Chastenay, Sebastian Denise, teammates on the 10th row of the grid. Then Steve Clays, Thies Vandenberg, Edward May, and Stuart Musselwhite. Then we have Lee Woodburn, which apparently his name is Woodburn Burn. Philip Hopley, 26 on the grid. Ryan Walker, 27th, and Liam Silkstone. Dean Timms and Jez Banks rounds out your top 30. We have Nugent 31st with Craig Jones 32nd. Then it's Jochen Lennertz in 33rd with Andy Fox 34th. Behind him we have Dave Cyrus and Scott Angelo. And it looks like at the very back of the grid we have Andrew Payne. So Mark Woodhouse then. He's going to be the guy on pole position for the first round of the season. He had some great pace in the very first round in the test meeting. Connor Parisi, though, alongside him on the grid. He's going to be a big threat in this one. And for the first time this season then, in the Simracersworld TCR Series with Smortal, they're away. And you can see the cars with the wheel spin dropping down the hill. And Lewis Ward has made a beautiful getaway. He's chasing down Connor Parisi into turn 1. Everyone onto the brakes are going to be on cold tyres. They've got to make sure they don't lose the rear end. We'll look a bit further down the order. Nearly a bit of contact there between Delmont and a couple of the other guys at the front. Ben Thanes was in there too with him. This is the midfield battle. Looking at Alex Torres at the moment. Bit of contact in front. That's the year 1 car of Carl Jacquelet. Just in front of him is Jeremy Hessels. Seems like everyone's got through all right at the moment. Conor Parisi still leading the way then. Behind him, he has Lewis Ward and Woodhouse chasing him down. Lewis Ward's going for the move, you know. He's got a great run out of there. Fantastic start for Lewis Ward. He's really on a mission, isn't he? The Meraki fanboys will be coming out now. There's not really anyone that's actually in the position where they started. You can see there Jake Robertson just having to defend from Matthias de Tige. Lewis Ward getting the job done around the outside by the look of it. Can he hold on to that? That would be beautiful if he does. But now he's on the outside. Mark Woodhouse is on his inside. Oh, he's gone off a little bit, nearly contact as well. Side by side for second place. Mark Woodhouse is going to go down the inside of the both of them. He's going to try it all the way. Doesn't get it done, but nice stuff to keep it into second. Trying to come through as well as Adam McNally. Oh, and down the inside, Ward makes contact with Woodhouse. Woodhouse is off on the grass. And he's losing positions. It's like driving on ice in these cars. Just ahead as well, just behind these. Fraser Smith side by side with Andrew Hopley. And that's the end of lap 1 already. What a fantastic lap that is. First in class as well, Lee Deemer at the moment. Not quite sure what happened there. I do apologise for that. Lee Deemer is first in the AM category, but right behind him in the year 1 racing car that you definitely cannot miss is Carl Jacquelet. Bit more bunching up there as they go into the hairpin. There's cars all over the place. Hopley and Smith constantly changing places on the timing tower. Oh, just behind them was a bit of bumping and banging. Just ahead of these, that was Jeremy Hessels going off the circuit, and then he's back on. There's a couple of cars sideways. I can hear sliding and skid marks all over the place. Probably be a couple of skid marks if people don't get it right. Adam McNally's up to second place. McNally making moves near the front. So much going on. I'm trying to find where he did that, but I can't actually see it on the little event viewer that we've got. De Tige up to 5th. Andrew Hopley 6th. Of course, Woodhouse down now to 10th position. It looks like these boys are really having a good scrap as well. Woodhouse is on the back of Delmont with Gregory Vranks behind him. Delmont on the grass a little bit there. Look at this train of cars. It's an absolute sea of German automotive perfection. It is literally a train. Especially these lot, all the way down to 21st place. If you look here, look at the train of cars out the window. Let's get the track map out of the way. Them all down the straight. Nose to tail all the way. But Conor Parisi leading the way at the moment over Adam McNally. And McNally has not got it easy here with Lewis Ward and Jake Robertson behind. Jake Robertson back up to 4th place. And the Meraki battle for the podium in a few laps, says PJ. Well, we shall soon see, mate. We shall soon see. We'll have a scan down the order as well. Craig Jones is very close here. Oh, he's just disappeared for a moment. Not quite sure what happened to Craig there. That's a shame. Here's Dave Cyrus with a big battle just in front there. Jochen Lennertz is in there as well. I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, mate. He's just gone past Thies Vandenberg. There's a lot of AM drivers in here as well. Jez Banks for Fury Simsport is just in front of this. That is Craig Jones with Nugent behind him. Big scraps going on between these boys. Close again between Delmont and McNally. Oh, that was Torres off in the background. Alex Torres launching that thing about, getting quite a bit of grass all over it. He's got Rashid Kassim behind him. Fraser Smith loses a place. He might have had a slowdown there. That's Woodhouse and Delmont going through. What a fantastic scrap we're having here. Look at these boys. As Fraser Smith losing more places. Woodhouse trying to go around the outside of Delmont, not quite working. Oh, there's cars off behind. That was Lee Deemer, and he's in the barriers, and the car is around. Oh, there's more cars off as well, just ahead. They're carrying on. But Lee Deemer, I'm trying to get on him. I'm trying to get to him, I'm sorry. Let's have another little look then at what happened to Lee Deemer. Into turn 1. Oh, he just turns into the side of Fraser Smith. Not quite sure where he was trying to go then. Into the side of Smith he goes. Oh, just in front of him was one of the SCC racing cars going off. Oh, Thies van den Berg is going very, very sideways all over the place there. We're going to have to look back towards the front though, because Jake Robertson is on the grass. Andrew Hopley and Thayens into each other, and Jake Robertson loses out. Oh, that's a nightmare. Jake spins it around nice and quickly, but wow, what a strange incident that was. They all just sort of bounced off one another. Here it is going back a little bit. Go on board with Thayens, so you can see Robertson tries to carry the speed around the outside. Hopley loses it on the inside a bit. Thayens tries to come through. Jake comes back on. Oh, it's just a squeeze. Just wasn't a gap there for him really to go for. And a couple of them lose out because of it. Hopley has now got Delmont right behind him as well. So Andrew's going to have to get defended. Sorry, Andy Hopley. He doesn't want me calling him Andrew. I said I was going to call him Princess Andrew, but we'll have to leave that for another day. Fraser Smith and Steve Clays. See, now he's submitted his driver picture as a PNG, so he's got a nice transparent background on it. That's me getting really nerdy there. And yes, PJ, if you no longer go for a gap that exists, you are no longer a racing driver. As we all know, that is fact. And oh, Khan, oh, Nugent's gone off as well. There's a nightmare. There's a couple of cars just all showing off the circuit there. Still close up front between Hopley and Delmont. There's cars and data moving all over the place. We do come back to that, Fraser, and you are right, mate. Jake Robertson going down the order again. Something else happened to him there. Musselwhite's trying to get through. He's got the paint on this week, Ian. Don't worry about it. Stewart letting him go. Just in front of them, though, Torres and Eisenman completely together. Carl Jacquelet, top of the AM category, by the way. 9th at the moment. Eisenman turns in. Quite a lot of runoff there, luckily. But look at Torres now under pressure from Robertson. Robertson goes down the inside. Fantastic send up the top of the hill. Oh, there's a bit of contact. He doesn't lose the rear end, though. Amazing stuff for them both to carry on. That's the beauty of front-wheel drive, ladies and gentlemen. And oh, we were just saying how Jeremy Hessels was doing well before. What's happened here? Oh, there's a car off at the top of the hill there. That's number 77. Oh, wow. Oh, that's a massive hit in the rear there for Jeremy. What a nightmare. That car is toast, as the spotter would say. 25-minute races. We're on lap 6 at the moment, and we're only 8 minutes in as well. Andrew Hopley has got a defensive drive on his hands now. Down the inside is Adam Delmont. I don't know why we've gone to the gearbox camera. You could barely see him. There he is. Andrew carries a lot of speed around there. He was fined for having no paint, says Ian. Yeah, I'm not surprised, mate. Got to rep the brand. You've got to rep the brand. It's looking like Adam McNally is very close to the back of Parisi for the lead. I don't know where this has come from, but it's an inspired drive by Adam McNally. You can see the wonderful metallic and matte layers there on Parisi's car in front of him, the number 17 machine. But XR iRacing driver Adam McNally doing a great job at the moment, 2nd place. Let's McNally, says Brian. I don't know whether McNally is a verb or not, but we'll go with it. Let's do the McNally. Whether that's just saying hi, I don't know, but we'll go with it. Lewis Ward, of course, at the moment still in 3rd place watching this, just hoping for fireworks. And of course Matthias de Tige as well, doing a good job. He's in 4th. McNally pulls out to the left. Ah, he's got a direct drive wheel, has he now? Maybe you can actually feel the understeer from the Audi. He's trying everything as McNally. He's all over the back of Parisi. Great battle this. What we'll do is go on board with Lewis Ward. He's got the best seat in the house for this. You can see it all unfolding in front of him. And of course, he's got the opportunity here to just hold back a little bit, just as PJ says there in the chat, and just wait for something to happen. He can just concentrate on his own lines. He doesn't need to attack too much because these guys might slow each other down having a battle. We've got 45 viewers watching. Hiya, everyone. 48 now, apparently. We are very grateful for you watching. I'm absolutely loving this, as you can tell. I haven't taken a breath in about 8 minutes. But Lewis Ward now. He has just got to wait and see what he can do. He's, of course, got to think about the Tige, who might start closing in behind them. But he might not get it done that quickly. We need to have a... I'll keep a close eye on this while McNally mounts his attack. Doesn't look like he's quite got it done there, though. He's just trying to optimise his lines, isn't he? They're so close on pace. It's brilliant to watch. Really, really have loved these TCR cars since they came on. We apparently are getting another TCR car at some point soon, I've heard. But I cannot tell you what. Oh, there's a bit of contact there. McNally into the back corner of Parisi's car, and through goes Lewis Ward. Look at that for opportunistic. Dives down the inside. Detige involved in this now as well. And these guys have then got 3 seconds back to Hopley, so if anything comes undone here, it's going to have to be quite a big incident. Oh, Scott Malcolm and Fraser Smith are going down the order. Not quite sure what's happened to Fraser. Here's what happened to Scott. Oh, Fraser's involved as well. Down the straight they go. Fraser comes to the inside. Oh, there's a bit of an overlap. Oh, and the famous quarter panel. Fraser's in the wall hard, so is Scott. Scott carries on. Bet that was a scary moment for the guys coming past. He's in 20th place now at the moment. We look at our AM-class leader, Carl Jacquelet, and he, as you can tell from the timing tower on the left-hand side, has a huge gap to the next AM driver, which is Thorsten Eiserman in 16th place. He has Musselwhite 0.6 of a second behind him. Dave Cyrus and Edward May having a scrap further down the order here. These guys 30th and 31st. There's quite a good train of cars in front of them as well. Apparently Scott Angelo going off the circuit and back on. Oh, he's around and he's in the wall. He's having a bit of a nightmare in this race, is Scott Angelo, by the look of it. Oh, we've got Philip Hopley off the track as well. Not quite sure how we got there. We'll have a quick check. Might have just been a mistake. It's very easy to do. You can just clip the grass on the brakes on the right-hand side and the car will go around. He's got Lee Deemer down the inside. Oh, he turns in on Lee. Big bit of contact. Onto the gravel you go. Back to our race lead then. Parisi still ahead of Ward now, who is slightly holding up Adam McNally. Just going to look at the biggest movers and shakers in the field. You can see there 7 places gained for Musselwhite, 9 places for Walker, 7 for Vincent. Steve Clays has gone up 8 positions as well. P21 to 13, as Marv Goes Racing says in the chat. You are what prompted me to do that, Marv. Thanks very much, mate. Scott Angelo has apparently crashed again, further down the order. Having a bit of a tough time getting on with this TCR car is Scott. Sebastian Denise is apparently having a really good battle with Ryan Walker. And behind them, Scott Malcolm as well. Further behind that is this lot. Lee Deemer being chased by Liam Silkstone with Dean Timms in front. Been racing with Dean in the World GT Championship. He actually beat me last night after I made a very silly mistake at the end of the race. There's 2 races tonight, Matt. We have a 25-minute race. Oh, and Dean's gone really deep into the final corner there. Nice opportunistic stuff by Lee Deemer. Very close between Steve Clays and Jake Robertson. Oh, Steve not leaving all the room in the world there. Jake's car a bit sideways. Bit of contact, back down the hill they go. It's a nice simple livery on that Rev Match Esports car. Oh, he doesn't give all the room in the world again. Expects Jake to go off into another postcode by the look of it. Jake's going to be fired up by that. He's a young lad, is Jake. And wow, what a cutback that is. He's managed to get it down the inside and he's actually alongside him. What a brilliant cutback that was. Gives him a little bit of a knock on the way down the straight. This is going to get fiery, isn't it? Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. Place your bets. Touch wood. We're not going to see an accident here. Jake sails round the outside. That was Mansell-esque on Berger back in 1991, was it? Oh, Clays comes over. There's no need to. Taps the rear end of Jake's car and he's off. Oh, now I don't like to point fingers, but I don't know if there was a need to come over like that then. Maybe you guys can bet crash all like that, PJ. Not sure whether you guys can weigh in on that there. We will have a look back. So close though. Jake carries some great speed around the outside, but he just doesn't get the exit that he needs. Oh, to be fair, I think Jake's gradually going over to the right, if I'm honest. It's difficult to tell. Anyway, front of the field, this is still going on. Still Parisi leads the race. You can cash out if you want, Lewis. Super dirty, says Ollie. Super dirty. But you would, Ollie, because you're on Jake's side, and this is what we don't want. We don't want people taking sides. We want a neutral perspective on this. And someone that's definitely not going to have a neutral perspective right now is Connor Parisi with these guys behind. I love what the Meraki boys have done with that paint, by the way. Wrapping the carbon around the front end of the RS3. It looks fantastic. Look at the run there that Lewis Ward has got. He's going to give us a bit of a shove. Certainly filling the image at the moment. Let's look at something else. It's scaring me. But this is amazing driving for these boys for the race lead as well, this. Oh, McNally sideways. Very sideways. Dettige might have just given him a bit of a kiss on the way in then, but can't be too sure. But this is absolute textbook stuff here. This is what you want from touring car racing. And I'm hoping for more of this. More of this season, please. I'd be very grateful if I get to broadcast an entire season's worth of this. Of course, it is my voice that you're going to have to be listening to all season, I'm afraid. But you can blame Ian and Andy for that. No, I'm only joking. I'm very grateful for him getting me in to do this. I thought Lewis Ward was going to tap the back of him there. Look at that. The Audi Centipede. Vorsprung Durka Riva at the moment. It's like a bus. It really is, Brian. It looks like it's going to be a mega championship, this. Let's just have a quick look on board with Dettige. Oh, there's a car off at the side. Who was that? That was one of the SCC cars. That was Andrew Payne, once again with that corner. You can see this developing in front of us here. McNally's going to look down the inside of Lewis Ward. He puts his nose in. Oh, he gets a bit of a bounce halfway around the corner. Dettige is going to be rubbing his hands together now. Place your bets once again, ladies and gents. McNally, nice move down the inside. Dettige is going to go for it also. He wants third place. He wants a podium. But McNally executed that very, very well. Nearly a touch between those two. That was so close to contact there. Great stuff by Dettige to get back into it. You like that one, Lewis? Louis? I'm sorry if I pronounce it wrong. It is getting heated, though. You're not wrong. Well, this is what we want. It's fantastic racing. Look at the bloom off the cars. iRacing's lighting, absolutely sorted. Hopley's got Delmont right behind him now. Hopley's actually lost a place to Mark Woodhouse, who lost a couple of positions earlier. Oh, Hopley clips the grass. That's how easy it is to do in this car. And it's front-wheel drive. And front-wheel drive and grass on slicks doesn't quite work. And Andy drops down into 7th place, but he's still on the attack again, though. Look at him. Apparently he's the king of tyre management, so we'll see how that pays off for him. A bit further down the order, Musselwhite chasing down Iserman at the moment. This is the battle for 2nd and 3rd in AM, actually. Down the inside goes Musselwhite. Oh, Iserman wants a day at the beach, by the look of it, off into the sand. Manages to keep it on the black stuff, though. He just wants to walk along the promenade instead. Oh, and that was an unbelievable send down the inside by Sebastian Denise. Not quite sure he meant to do that then. The undesirable internet there of the Frenchman. Well, at least he didn't surrender on the way on the braking zone anyway. Back to the front on that note. Parisi leading the way then. McNally still somehow isn't in the lead of this race. I don't know how, because he's put in an epic effort so far. He's just pushing and pushing. Still 5 minutes of the race to go. And he's still trying to look for a way through. But Parisi, I tell you what, you've got to hand it to him. He's doing an epic effort at the moment. I'm going to prepare my P45 already, Ian. I'm sorry. Side by side, though, Ward is going to try and come through. No, he wasn't side by side, actually. It looked like it from that angle. That's how the camera can be deceiving. You can tell McNally's got the pace, though. He's not being drawn back into a battle for third and fourth here. He's always been very competent in touring cars and in MX-5s though, as Adam McNally. Be good to see him get a win, but Conor Parisi, after not the most promising pre-season test, is really showing his true worth here. While they sort themselves out, Alex Torres and Jake Robertson and Steve Clays are having a bit of a ding-dong. Alex Torres trying to send it like Fernando. But Jake Robertson on a comeback here now, into 13th position overall after that incident earlier. Ben Thayen's lost a bit of that as well. Sorry, a bit through that incident. And it looks like now Robertson is well on his way. Carl Jacquelette's still leading the AM category. He's gained 4 places so far. He's got Rashid Kassim behind him. Yep, Marv goes racing, gets it right. Most important is to lead the last lap. I led an entire race once in a league race I was doing, and then got overtaken on the last lap. To say I was fuming was an understatement. There were a lot of swear words. Parisi still trying to defend. McNally trying to go around the outside. Look at that. He's got a great run, but is it going to be enough? Because he's going to have the inside covered now by Lewis Ward. Woodhouse is coming through, you know. I tell you what, Brian, you're not wrong. We have sort of neglected the fact that Mark Woodhouse is right here. I do have to look back in front, though. That's my job. Parisi, somehow these boys are not making big contact. This is amazing racing. Lewis Ward is trying everything. McNally's trying everything. Detige is going to try and go down the inside as well. Still nothing, and still they're in a train. The Audi centipede continues. As Mark Woodhouse goes down the inside of Detige, he's going to start picking him off now, isn't he, Mark? Let's hope he's put enough fuel in it. He ran out of fuel at the pre-season test. Up into 4th he goes, but this is the main battle. Lewis Ward is going to have his fanboys going mental at the moment. It is incredible racing. I wish you could see the smile on my face. I'm not going to put the webcam on. I've not done my hair today. McNally still not in the lead. How? I don't know. Some magical spell been... I don't know. Parisi must be doing something. Something.exe. Just don't want it to come to blows. McNally down the inside. He's finally got the send. Still no contact. Parisi gets a better run now. Lewis Ward, can he come through as well? Mark Woodhouse smells an opportunity. We've got 2 minutes of the race to go, and it's 1.5 minutes a lap, so we're going to have 2 laps to go at the line. Parisi still in the lead. Woodhouse has gone up to 3rd. He's got it done on Lewis Ward. I don't know how he did that. He just appeared in 3rd. Detige, he's still in 5th. McNally round the outside into turn 1, late on the brakes. Oh, he's gone deep. But he's carried the speed though, and you know what? He might have the run up to Druids at the top. Onto the brakes. He's around the outside. He's a bit later on the brakes. Woodhouse, if Woodhouse comes through and wins this, I tell you what, it'd be amazing. But McNally would deserve this win if he grabs it. Really gives Parisi only the room he needs, and through he goes into the race lead. There's a change. Parisi and Woodhouse make contact. Parisi's got the run. Woodhouse got out of it, and you can see he's lost the momentum as a result. Amazing racing. This is absolutely insane stuff. Adam McNally finally leads the race. Parisi's got to try and stay with him now, but these top 5 have been an absolute example of what we need to do in iRacing. Woodhouse into 3rd. What a great drive for him so far after his earlier debacle. Lewis Ward, Adam Delmont might get in on this as well. It might be a 6-car fight as we go into the final lap. I do apologise to anyone further down the order, but this, I'm sure they can appreciate this is going to be of highest priority right now. Absolutely top-notch stuff this is. The fact there hasn't been an incident yet, touch wood. Woodhouse shows his nose down the inside of Parisi. Doesn't go for the move though. McNally just nearly clips the grass then. I thought he was going to run wide and lose some momentum. But this is going to be the final lap then of race 1 of the evening. What a way to start the championship this is. Incredible racecraft from these boys. Woodhouse trying to carry the speed through. Parisi runs a little bit deep. McNally looking very in control at the moment. Detige behind, just going on the defence from Lewis Ward. Lewis tries to carry the speed around the outside. Doesn't get it done. Is Delmont going to make it 6 cars in this train? The Audi centipede. We've got 43 viewers watching this, and I bet every single one of you is on the edge of your seat. What a fantastic race. I still don't know who's going to win it, you know. McNally could make a little mistake towards the end, but he's looking quite comprehensive at the front at the moment. I just can't believe my eyes. This is unbelievable racing. Behind, Dettige and Ward having a bit of a dance at the moment. Woodhouse just closing on Parisi, but it seems to have calmed down a little bit. Ward shows his nose. Dettige goes defensive. Ward goes back the other way. He's just pushing him round. It's going to be side by side going up the hill towards Ingledale. Is he going to stay down the inside? He is. Dettige is going to give just enough room. Dettige is on the grass. Saves it. Delmont goes up to 5th. But at the front, there's only one corner to go. Dennis is in the bath, by the way. Cheers, Dennis. One corner to go for Adam McNally then. Turns it in. Oh, it looks like Lewis Ward has dropped back. But round 1 of the championship goes to Adam McNally of XII Racing. What a brilliant race. Connor Parisi, very deserved 2nd place. Mark Woodhouse 3rd. Adam Delmont comes home in 4th. What a great result for Adam in the end. Dettige finishes 5th. Lewis Ward finishes 6th. I think Lewis wanted to give the position back in the end. Hopley finishes 7th behind that. Franks, Thayens, Jacqueline wins the AM category. Great result for him. Look at these boys back here. Chaussonnet just beating Torres to the line there in a great scrap. Wow, what an amazing race that was. Musselwhite takes 2nd in the AM category. Eiserman takes 3rd. Podium in the category. Wow, we can breathe now. But yes, as you say in chat, Lewis Ward, very, very much a gentleman. Here is the moment then. So Lewis goes down the inside, just runs wide on the exit. Dettige is on the grass there behind, and Delmont goes through, but you'll see now Lewis Ward gets out of the way of his own accord. He didn't get a slowdown penalty or anything, I don't think. Yep, gets back up to full speed once Dettige is through. He gives him the place back. That's really nice gentlemanly stuff, that's what we like to see. Just trying to see if anyone else is still finishing the race. No, Andy Fox has crossed the line. Andrew Payne is going to be the last car across the line in a slightly dented SCC Racing RS3, but wow. Oh, that was one of the greatest races I've ever seen. Unbelievable stuff from the guys at the front. Mega kudos. Hope the second race is a bit more exciting. That was a bit boring, says Bod. I'll tell you what, Bod, I can smell the sarcasm from here, mate. Connor Parisi, though, the American, what a great drive. Unbelievable stuff. I'm over the moon with that. And we should... Now, I've had issues with these result screens before, so bear with me. I think we're still waiting for some of the guys to finish. It seems so. We should have a result screen coming up, but apparently not. That's rather annoying, isn't it? Excuse me. There we go then. Adam McNally wins the race from Connor Parisi. Mark Woodhouse finishing in 3rd. Adam Delmont crossing the line in 4th place. Matthias Dettige in 5th, and Lewis Ward, very gentlemanly stuff, giving that position back there. It will say no points on the right, and I do apologise for that. We do have our own point system. 7th place, Andrew Hopley, bit of an under-the-radar performance for him. Gregory Franks in 8th, Ben Thanes 9th. Carl Jacqueline will be happy with a 10th position there. He's the highest placed car in the AM class. Rashid Kasim finishing 11th, ahead of Jake Robertson in 12th. Vincent Chaussonnet finishing 13th with Alex Torres in 14th. Steve Clay's 15th. Sebastian Denise in 16th place with Stuart Musselwhite in 17th. Scott Malcolm in 18th place. And behind him we have Thorstein Eiserman gets 3rd in the AM category ahead of Lee Deemer rounding out your top 20. Then we have Ryan Walker, Fraser Smith, Dean Timms, Liam Silkstone. We have Khan Nugent there. And then it's Craig Jones, Edward May, Thies Vandenberg, Lee Woodburn, Jochen Lennartz, Philip Hopley, Dave Cyrus, Andy Fox. And then the cars a lap down or more. Jez Banks 1 lap down. And Andrew Payne is 2 laps down. 8 laps down, Scott Angelo, and Jeremy Hessels is in 37th, and the last car to be classified. So what it's going to be time for now then is a little bit of a break. We're just going to go and get the next race sorted out. Don't have any adverts for you at the moment. I was trying to sort them out earlier, but unfortunately not the case as it stands. But we'll be back with you in about 5 minutes time, and we'll bring you the second race of the evening. Make sure you don't go away, because hopefully it's going to be a belter just like that one. Apologies for that. I think you'll all agree though, that was an incredible first race of the night. And we're hoping of course that the second one can live up to just that. Like I say, we'll be back with you in a few minutes time. apologies for the slightly repetitive images. We will be back in the second session in just a moment, and then we can crack on for hopefully more of the same, because that was absolutely epic. Absolutely epic. We'll hurry in, Brian. Don't you worry, my friend. We'll be on any second now. Just loading into the session. Anyone new to the channel, of course, please do make sure you subscribe to Simracersworld TV. We've got a fantastic 12-week season of this ahead of us. It's going to be an absolute corker, especially if it's based off how that last race was. You've got me for the whole thing, Chaz Draycott, known to a lot of you as Chazlington. I'm very grateful to have been given the opportunity to not just commentate this, but also broadcast it solo as well. And I hope that so far you are enjoying the show and that it's coming across okay. Like I say, if there is anything at the moment that you have noticed that you're not happy with, or if there's anything that we need to change, just let us know. We'll be happy to take any constructive feedback we need, and we will get on and do our very best to improve it week on week. And thank you very much, Brian. Anyone that doesn't know what Brian is referring to, this later, well, sort of mid last week, I was signed as the series dedicated commentator for the Sports 2000 series in real life, which I'll be doing all of this year at the UK rounds and then at Spa at the end of the year. So it's going to be a pretty good year if you're me, if I'm honest with you. But thank you very much, Brian. Much appreciated, mate. Okay, so we have cars on track once again then. Here we go. The guys just in warm-up at the moment then. And it won't be long now before the second race of the evening. We'll just have a quick look at some of the conditions. And 21 degrees Celsius, 48% humidity, quite a strong wind as well. Track's going to be a lot hotter than it was last time, so these guys have really, really got to be careful and make sure that they look after the tyres, essentially. That's going to be one of the main things. And Marv, I do apologise, mate, but it is kind of my job to speak. No, I hope you're enjoying the stream, mate. It's certainly good fun to do. So we're just looking at Alex Torres at the moment in Tent Factory Sim Racers, in what is a very pretty livery. We'll get the music to shut up again so we can concentrate on the Audis before us. Oh, a little pop and bang on the overrun there. That's always nice to hear, isn't it? Right then, so it disappears. Back to the pits, faster than you can say pits. It's got a T in it. And the second time tonight then, we have a qualifying session. This time, only 10 minutes long. 10-minute qualifying session, so as you can see, an absolute tidal wave of Audi RS3s comes flying out the pits. And this is going to get nice and frantic, nice and quickly on the left-hand side. Watch that timing tower. There's nothing on it at the moment. but trust me, there will be in a minute. We're going to go on to qualifying mode, so you'll see some of these sector times come up at the bottom. Thank you, of course, to SDK gaming software as well for the overlay and all the graphics and things that we have tonight. It's absolutely brilliant bit of software. I do apologise if anything that I'm doing isn't quite right. Thank you very much, Ollie, for the comments. Glad you are enjoying it. Thank you, everybody, for the comments. Glad to have you with us. We've still got 40 viewers at the moment. And this is only going to get better tonight. iRacing have got a hell of a service on the go at the moment, and these cars are brilliant bits of kit. And also, of course, Andrew Hopley has done an incredible job of organising this league, and of course the guys that are helping him out behind the scenes as well. Ian Roots, of course, the big boss himself of Simracersworld. What a brilliant stuff. Brilliant thing they've done with this series. And yes, Lewis is flying. Everyone's flying. Look at it, personal bests. It's amazing. And Jack, we do go all night, mate. We really are hoping for a close race, just like race 1. That would be awesome to see. Here's Jochen Lenhartz. Oh, there goes Jochen Lenhartz. Lenhartz, is it? Someone correct me. The mighty beard. The mighty beard that is Andrew Hopley. There he is. You can't see his beard when you're in the car. I'm not surprised, because those helmets are packed quite tight. And yes, I do know that that's you, JJ. Mr. Johnson, I know what your name is. Can we have some claps in chat, please, for Jack Johnson in chat, please? Just there. Claps in chat, please, for Jack Johnson, everyone. He likes to remind me what his name is, seeing as I sit next to him all day. He is my boss at work, so please be nice. Don't want to be receiving a P45 from him and Ian for that French joke earlier. Captain Jack, that's the boy. There you go, claps in chat. There you are. They are, JJ. All for you, mate. Smashing. So, right. Who's going to win this one then? Place your bets, everybody. We ought to start some sort of betting platform for this. Get Bet365 on the phone. That was an insane race. Absolutely insane race. I'm hoping to see more of it. I just want to have a quick look at some of the drivers we didn't really look at in that one. Liam Silkstone for Excite Energy Orange. Mark Woodhouse goes top. If that isn't a raise. Well, thank you, PJ. P45, says Ollie Slade. Love it. Give Jack a medal. We've been working all day. Yeah, very true. Ian Roots to win this one. Ian Roots for the win. Yeah, Mark Woodhouse, he was incredibly fast in that one. He's pole at the moment at 132.771. Half a second clear of Hopley. We'll go for the overall gap so you can just see the dominance there by Andrew Woodhouse? No, he's the Apex Racing TV commentator, isn't he? Mark Woodhouse, sorry, for Team Mad. Stephen DeWolf. He's seen that name before, have you, Benny? Have you indeed, mate? Jeremy Hessel's fourth at the moment, doing a fine job. Top Am, Lee Woodburn in the Venomworks Excite Audio car. That brilliant livery. Mark Woodhouse. Oh, Hessels, Eisenman and Kasim all put laps in there. So does Hessels again. There's a lot of cars crossing the line now as Woodburn goes up to 5th place. Does Lee? Nice little drift in front of him there. Oh, he's gone off there. We'll save it before he goes in the wall. Carl Jacquelet just coming across the line now. He, of course, won the AM category in race 1. And wow, he goes up to 7th overall. Second in AM at the moment. And Ian has put Woodhouse, McNally, Hopley as his prediction. Braille is not supported on my phone, says Marv Goes Racing. Love it. Jake Robertson, we haven't seen him at the moment. Here's Andrew Payne in the SCC racing car. And no, someone hasn't been playing paintball near that car. That is how the livery is meant to look. They're a charity-based team. They do a cracking job. They're quite new to the service as well. But they're in a couple of series that I've been watching and racing in as well, as Fraser Smith does. Nice little drift there. De Tige goes up to 4th place, doing it for Belgium. Ben Thayens is 6th at the moment, also doing it for Belgium. Jeremy Hessels, he's Dutch, so hopefully he's not under the influence for this race. Thorstein Eiserman, German. We have the French, Vincent Charsonnet, somewhere, there he is. He will show up as Vincent on the timing tower because for some reason these pesky Frenchmen have the their names the other way around on the timing screen. I'm not sure why. So that's Sebastian Denise. The times are very close, but Lewis Ward, the fan club goes wild. Lewis Ward is on pole position at the moment. That is a really good time, to be fair. That's a mega lap, that is. 1:31.9. Delmont sneaking up the order there as well to 4th, McNally up to 6th. It's so close between those guys, the top 10, less than a second. As wow, Ward celebrating his fast lap there by going completely sideways. Purple last sector by Jake Robertson on that lap. I'm just keeping my eye out for purple sectors. We've got purples for Mark Woodhouse as well, just not the first sector. The first sector wasn't his best. De Tige up to 3rd. Mark Woodhouse has actually got purple sectors on this lap. Or has he? No, these are personal bests, but not purples. Let's see how he does across the line. 1:31.9 to beat. He's done it. He goes top. 1:31.8 from Mark Woodhouse. Amazing. Can he get 2 pole positions in a row? Who else is coming to the line? Andrew Hopley. See if he can improve on his lap. Eiserman goes up to 7th. What a great lap. Hopley goes up to 4th. But Eiserman, wow. 7th place overall. Thayens goes up to 3rd. These laps are really flying in at the end of the session now. Jake Robertson's coming towards the end of a lap. It doesn't look like he's improved on this one. Can he get the lap in, or is he going to start his flying lap now? Comes to the line. McNally up to 2nd, 31.8. Knocks Ward down to 3rd. Robertson goes up to 6th. Dima up to 18th there, a bit further down the order. 4th place in the AM category. Lee Woodburn is in 3rd position in the AM category at the moment. And the session is going to end in a minute's time, so some of these guys now are going to be starting their final laps in the session. Oh, Lee Woodburn getting out of the way there. I need to look at Rashid Kasim's car. There you go, Rashid. He's got the white bits on it now, rather than the grey bits. There was something wrong with the spec map and it was making it turn up grey. So it's white and it looks good. And hopefully he's not going to be too angry at me now. Now we've sorted it out. But Eiserman's done a great job there to get pole position in the category. Jacqueline 2nd. I'm just trying to see who is near the end of a lap. Ben Thayens, he's quite high up the order. He's coming near to the end of a lap as well. At the final corner, carries all of the speed, tries to get the best run that he can. Hessels goes into the top 10. Does Thayens improve? Doesn't look like it, no. But he's going on to a lap now then. Conor Parisi, almost race winner in race 1, end of the session. This is going to be his last lap. It's just in front there, Thies Vandenberg goes all over the place. Parisi doesn't improve. Not quite enough. Lee Woodburn, oh, he's not quite getting that done. Alex Torres is coming towards the end of a lap as well. Into the final few corners. But Mark Woodhouse, what an insane lap that is. He's actually done I believe Sector 3 is a purple sector for Mark Woodhouse, so we could see him go even quicker. Where does Torres go? Doesn't look like any improvement from him either. Oh, Fraser Smith, I believe, has just gone up the order. He's gone into 10th place. We've got purple sectors for Mark Woodhouse again. I want to make sure we're live here. We are. We've got purple sectors from Mark Woodhouse. Is he going to improve on a 31.830 just to shatter the morale? Not quite. 31.942. That would have still put him second on the grid. But Mark Woodhouse yet again takes this. And Thies was thinking about the fans there. Very grateful for that. Scott Malcolm's still out on track. He's coming around the final corner. He's done personal bests in some of these sectors. He's 24th at the moment, 18th in class, and he pops up to 15th overall. Nice effort there from Scott Malcolm. And the team Madcar is Steve Clays, still going round. Rashid Kasim also going round. Jake Robertson. Oh, he's just having a bit of fun. He knows that I'm going to look at him. He knows. He likes a bit of drifting, does Jake? We'll watch him until the end, because he's bound to chuck it. Yep, there you go. Look at it. He's a rallycross driver normally, so he knows what he's doing. And that is the end of the second qualifying session of the night then. And for the second time this season and the second time this evening, here is your grid then. Mark Woodhouse, 2 pole positions in a row, smashing stuff. Adam McNally, second on the grid, ahead of Lewis Ward and Ben Thayens. Then we have Matthias de Tige on the 3rd row of the grid, alongside Jake Robertson in 6th. Then we have Andrew Hopley, Connor Parisi, Adam Delmont and Rashid Kasim round out your top 10. They're followed by Fraser Smith and Jeremy Hessels. Then it's Thorsten Eiserman, Steve Clays 14th, and it's Scott Malcolm, Edward May, Carl Jacquelet, Lee Woodburn, Vincent Chassenet and Alex Torres rounding out your top 20. Then we have Lee Deemer, Stuart Musselwhite, Gregory Vranks down in 23rd, Dean Timms in 24th. He's followed by Scott Angelo 25th, Sebastian Denise, and then it's Liam Silkstone, Khan Nugent, and then it's Craig Jones and Jez Banks rounding out your top 30. Dave Cyrus 31st, Andy Fox 32nd, and we have Philip Hopley in 33rd. Jochen Lennertz in 34th with Thies van Berg in 35th and Ryan Walker 36th. And back of the grid, Andrew Payne. So for the second time this evening we have pole sitter Mark Woodhouse sat there on the grid. We're going to flick through some TV cameras that just seem to get further and further away. That's useful. A wonderful blimp view of all the cars. Fraser Smith we're just waiting for on the grid. There's Lee Woodburn. And I tell you what, if we were watching the whole race from the top down, you could see Lee's car from a mile off, couldn't you? There is the grid. And an awesome grid it is. It's nice that iRacing have gone for the realistic interpretation of not having all the cars in perfect formation. Some of them are dotted about left and right. Adam Delmont there in 9th position. Here we go then. We're hoping this is going to be as good as the first one. And round 2 of the Simracersworld TCR series is away. Woodhouse gets a much better start than he did in race 1. Leaps away from the line. McNally tries to go with him. There's a couple of positions being changed. 3 wide in there. Ben Thayens in the middle. Parisi on the outside. de Tige in the middle. And somehow they managed to make it round Paddock Hill Bend 3 wide. I do not know how they've done that. Just having a quick look further down the order. See if there's any shenanigans going on here. Oh, that is the number 19 car off the circuit. That's Jeremy Hessels. Goes straight on. Oh, and turned around in front of the pack. Is one of the... Wow, I don't know how they all missed him then. I do not have a clue how they all missed that car then. I think that was Dean Timms, it was. Dean Timms turned around in front of the pack. Everyone missed him somehow. He didn't hold the brakes. Oh, there's one of the Simracersworld cars in the wall. That's Stuart Musselwhite. Ryan Walker's gone back to the pits. He hops to the top of the timing screen. But Mark Woodhouse leads the race then from Adam McNally, Lewis Ward, Ben Thayens, Matthias de Tige, Andrew Hopley. And then Parisi and Delmont were having a little battle as well. Just behind these guys as well, Edward May in the Fury Sim Sports car. He's doing a good job in this race as well. He's ahead of Kasim. He's gained 6 places off the start as Edward May. What a great drive he's having so far. 6 places in 1 lap. Jake Robertson going for a send on Rashid Kasim. Oh, he makes contact. I was just saying how Rashid's paint was working, and he's definitely making sure of that. He scrapes a bit of it off on the wall. gets going again, but that's a real shame. Looked like Jake just went for a big send up the inside. Battle just in front of these boys there. That's one of the Excite cars. Adam Delmont then going down the straight. You can see Walker going down the timing screen. That's just because he went straight to the pit lane. Torres and Scott Malcolm right together here, side by side into turn 1. Scott a little bit later on the brakes. Oh, Scott very late on the brakes. Wow, there's a car off as well in front. That's Eiserman. Oh, they're in the middle of the road. Scott needs to try and get out of the way. Oh, he's on the brakes. His car's off all over the place. Craig Jones is in the barriers as well. One of the Brit Tech cars in there. I think that was Fraser Smith. Coming back on the track there is, that was Rashid Kassim. He's had an absolute nightmare. Thies Vandenberg is off as well. Oh, that was a bit of a crazy accident there. It started with Eiserman going off. Eiserman originally went off the circuit. Just trying to see if I can get back to it. This is Scott Angelo going off the circuit. Oh, there's one of the Meraki cars off as well. Here's what happened from Thies Vandenberg then. So there is... Oh, there's cars all over the place. Oh, he gets a bit of a tap in the rear as well and goes around when he's trying to avoid it all. There's already cars all over the place by the time he arrives on the scene. Real shame that. This is close though between Dettige and Adam Delmont for 7th and 8th. The race goes on. Another 25-minute race. Woodhouse, fastest lap of the race, a 1:32.6. Incredibly quick time. Just looking to see who is the closest on track. Edward May and Carl Jacquelet are, oh, nearly together. Just in front of them, Steve Clays went off the track. A lot of these guys going off at turn 1, you know. We've seen a lot of people running wide. There's Dima going down the inside of Clays. Oh, and that's Edward May. Oh, no. He gets turned the right way around, though, actually, by the contact. But there are some code browns going on at the moment. Lee Dima dropping down the order. He's lost a few places there. He's got Eiserman going up the inside, is he? Nope. Oh, he's just gone so wide there. The track is obviously much hotter than it was in race 1. And a lot of these guys are really struggling with it. Oh, that looked like it was going to kick off there. Bit of contact. Let's not click away from things when they're getting exciting, shall we, Chaz? Clay's there, just chasing down Franks. Oh, he gets a nice cutback on him, Franks, leaving all the room in the world and going on the grass to try and get away. Clay's now into 15th position. Dettige and Delmont still having a scrap here, still side by side. It's never ending between these pair. Apparently Woodhouse is out of the race. He's disappeared. Really not sure what's happened to Woodhouse. Apparently everyone's going past him. Trying to find it on the replay. Something has happened to Mark Woodhouse. Not a clue. Not a clue, I'm afraid. Really not sure what's gone on there. He's just dropped off the timing screen completely. But Lewis Ward leads the race. The fan club can rejoice. And this is McNally under attack from Ben Thayens. Mark Woodhouse is apparently, no, still not on the track. I'm really confused as to why that is. He mustn't have paid his internet bill. Yep, that's true. This is a great scrap here for 2nd and 3rd. Adam McNally really having to defend. And here is Gregory Franks trying to get past Vincent Chaussenet, and Steve Clays is just ahead of them. Carl Jacquelet is once again in the lead of the AM category in this race. Vandenberg, of course, at the top of the standings, but that's just because he's out of the race at the moment. So because he's in the pits, it thinks that he's done another lap. I'm really, really unsure of what happened to Woodhouse, though. I'm very sorry that I can't give you a definite answer on that, but it's just dropped off. He's back in the pits, apparently. Very confusing moment. Anyway, we stick with these boys. Gregory Franks then. Vincent here just in front, and then Steve Clay's just ahead of these guys, but it's Vincent that we want to be on board with, so you can get a nice look at that Simracersworld branded TCR car. I'm sure Ian's going to be loving that. There are a lot of pops and bangs on the overruns in these Audis, I love it. But yes, Ben Thanes is a racing driver in real life. Knows exactly what he needs to be doing, sorry, if I can get my words out. Let's have a look who's close then. So at the moment we've lost 6 cars from this race. Mark Woodhouse is apparently coming back out of the pits now. Very strange. Very, very strange indeed, whatever's gone on there. Just trying to see whether I can find anything out about what's gone on. Scott Malcolm there just going past Mark. It's a real shame. This is going back a little bit now. Excuse the replay. Or it's trying to anyway. Nope. We'll scrap that idea and we'll go back live. Sorry about that. It must have been some sort of error, unless there was an incident that we just missed. It sounded like there was a bit of argy-bargy going on in front, but really not got a clue of what happened to him. We'll have to interview him after the race. Of course, some of these drivers will be interviewed afterwards. Wow, PJ's mentoring Ridge Racer there. That's going properly retro, my friend. Properly retro. Jake Robertson is into 8th position at the moment, actually down to 8th position. We'll look at the movers and shakers. As you can see, Silkstone up 12 places. Lennertz, though, up 15 positions as things stand. He is the highest mover in the field at the moment. Biggest drop is by Jeremy Hessels, I'm afraid. No, it's not. It's on Mark Woodhouse, of course. 32 places lost. But big moves by Lennertz there. He's doing a great job. Liam Silkstone, of course, gaining 12 places as well. Having a smashing time tonight. Same with Gregory Franks. He's up 10 spots. Lee Deemer also just 2 cars ahead of him. So these guys have gone through the field together. And he's currently chasing down Vincent Chaussenet. All over the back of him. And yes, JJ, Ridge Racer and Rage Racer. Most people tend to remember Ridge Racer over Rage Racer. Rage Racer was the OP one in my opinion, but oh well. These are the 2 closest cars on track at the moment. Gregory Franks' attack on Chaussenet. Down the inside into turn 1, doesn't quite get it done. We'll go on board. Or tries not to make contact. It's not often you find yourself turning left at Paddock Hill Bend, but Gregory found himself just doing that then. These cars are set up so loose, just so the front grips and does all the work. The rear end is just along for the ride. Of course, on board with the number 99 car now. Gregory's been doing great in a lot of other series as well in Simracersworld. He's very handy in GT cars. And for a moment, these guys aren't the closest cars on track. Connor Parisi is all over the back of Andrew Hopley, Andy Hopley, Princess Andrew, whatever you want to call him. Whatever he tells you to call him in Discord. They're side by side now as they go back up the hill. Parisi's down the inside. Surely he's going to get it done on the brakes. Andrew carries the speed around the outside there. What a fantastic bit of defensive driving, Charles. Get your words out. Parisi's back end is very loose, I suppose. He's just launching the car in. You can see it just gets a little bit loose on the way in. Look, back end steps out, but it just points where he wants it. It's a very quick approach. Just behind him, Delmont and Detige. Just behind them. And yes, Ian has very closely spotted that Jacqueline and Dima are having a scrap. No, they're not. This is Clays and Jacqueline. I thought it was those 2 that was close together. Clays into 9th place. Jacqueline, though, there is Dima, and that is for the lead in the AM class. I say what, Jacquelette's not letting Clays get away with that, is he? Still trying to get back past him. Franks and Vincent still having a ding-dong as well, a bit further down the order. It's the Belgian versus the French, and then the Spanish behind them. The Inquisition is on its way, and oh god, it's the Irish. Liam Silkstone in 15th place at the moment. He's going to provide the booze. Oh, it looks like Vincent's lost out as well. See, me being silly, missed that. Let's go back. Oh, looked like almost a tap then from Gregory. Andy Harders nails Hopley. Well, I tell you what, the man fruits really came out then when he was defending that position. Well, it looks like Franks just gets a nice run out of here, to be honest. Mark Woodhouse is making his way back through the field. Mark Woodhouse is now up into 31st position. This is still going on though. Look at this. Hopley now has a train of cars behind him. Hopefully we're going to see what we saw in race 1. Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition, says Chris Coughlin, and that is very, very true indeed. So maybe Torres can sneak his way inside the top 10 from 13th place. Unlucky for some. Ow. Okay. Hopley then leads these lot. This rabble. You've got Parisi, Delmont, Detige and Robertson in there. Jake might fancy a bit of bowling and just want to send some of these guys into each other. We'll have to see. He's trying to go around the outside of Detige. I think he might have made that work. You know, he has as well. What a guy. Jake Robertson then for Apex Racing Team. Gets through into 7th position. He's now only 1 place off where he started. And he's lining up. Oh, a bit of a touch on Adam Delmont there. Delmont won't take that lightly. But he wants to make sure that he gets through and goes chasing after the other one. Yeah, Ollie says it very, very truly there. Don't get your man fruits out. Andy used to bully Chuck Norris, apparently. Did they go to school together? They've both got quite decent beards, haven't they? Race lead is very focusing as well as they pop out from behind the forest. Lewis Ward still in 2nd place, and he hasn't lost Adam McNally here. Be great for McNally to get 2 out of 2, but going on the grass like that won't help him. Now Lewis Ward is going to put the pressure on. There's currently 7/10 of a second between Jacqueline and Dima for the AM battle as well, Ian. So we don't have to worry about them at the moment. He should be nice and snug before long, though, if Dima gets his foot down. I do hope you're enjoying the stream so far, everyone. We've got 44 viewers. I'm trying to make this as entertaining as possible by not quite overstepping the mark into offensive humour. Both went to school at the same time, 8:45. Brilliant stuff, love it, bud. Right then, Lewis Ward. That's the wrong camera. Needs to get an absolute move on it. Try and get past McNally. He's got 11 minutes though, so you never know. He could just wait until the last couple of laps and then really launch an attack on him here. Torres has passed Franks, apparently. So the Inquisition makes its way forward even further. Thank you, Benny. I'm really, really glad you're enjoying it, mate. I'm trying. I'm trying. Now there, just off your screen, that's not 7/10 of a second, is it? This is the battle for the AM lead between Carl Jacqueline and Lee Dima just behind him there. In the Cash for Gold edition of the Excite Energy iRacing livery that he made. And oh, that's a bit wide, isn't it, son? Carl Jacquelette's going to be defending for his life now. It's not like it's camouflaged. It's not subtle, that Year 1 racing car. I've done a lot of work with Graham Sesford, the team owner. He's very proud of his liveries. Oh no, that's not how you want the AM battle lead to end. AM battle lead, AM lead battle. Oh, it was Jacquelette just getting out of shape on his own. He's got to do a 9-point turn now. We're going to see some Austin Powers sort of stuff right now. These guys are going to have a bit of a brown trouser moment trying to go past him. But that does mean, of course, that Lee Dima leads the AM category now in this race, and he's got a good few positions back to Lee Woodburn, then Liam Silkstone. He's got Gregory Franks just behind him. Detige is apparently just ahead of Jake Robertson. And they sort of lost Parisi and Hopley at the moment. This is spread out a bit. Advertising for the wrong reasons, yeah. That was, I tell you what, that was that was definitely a bit of a commentator's curse, wasn't it? Close the gates. Close the gates, they say. Well, the Spanish Inquisition's dropped down a little bit, actually. Alex Torres has gone past, been overtaken by a couple of guys. Apparently this is Fraser Smith going past him, but doesn't look like it to me. Fraser Smith making his way forward for BritTech Simsport. But yes, the Spanish Inquisition was knocking on the gates temporarily. The gates have been closed and they've been told to go away. In other words, Dima now has ranks all over him, and to be honest, when it comes to his class championship, he may as well let Franks go if he's putting them under too much pressure. But there's 8 minutes of the race to go. 8 minutes of pure entertainment, I hope. Fraser Smith, Alex Torres and Vincent Chaussenet are having a great battle at the moment. Sounds like the start of a joke, doesn't it? An Englishman, a Frenchman and a Spanishman go down straight at a small racetrack into Paddock Hill Bend. Torres is going to try and go around the outside, puts on a bit of a drifty poo. Told his friends it's closed on Tuesdays and went back home. That's the right one. Yes, that's very true. I do know Lee. Lee does like a defensive drive. That's not Lee, that's Steve. There's Lee. He does like defending, he really, really does. Hopley's sort of closing on the leaders a bit. Not too much though. They're still quite a bit out in front, to say the least. They've got 6 seconds, and still Adam McNally leads the way. Ben Thane's doing a great job at the moment in the Rev Match Esports UGX Belgium car. Rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? Lewis Ward is going to be making his fans happy. So, get your predictions in now then. We have 6.5 minutes of the race to go. And what a fantastic night of racing this has been so far, I must say. This has been insanely entertaining, especially from my end as well. Really hope everyone's enjoying the stream. We're just scraping on 50 viewers at the moment, everyone. In the first broadcast of the season. That is absolutely awesome. We are all very, very grateful for the fact that you've popped along to do this. McNally for the double, says JJ. And yeah, Lewis Ward, I definitely think he is biding his time, but you can't think about it too much because Ben Thanes is going to be trying to send it down the inside before long. I know the Rev Match boys don't like to hang about. Neither do the Meraki boys, neither do the Excite guys as well. Oh no, there's contact and Lewis has gone off. A little bit of a rub down the inside. That was a bit of a NASCAR-esque sort of rub there. Oh, that's a real shame. Let's have another look at it. So he starts pulling a move at this point, does Ben. There might be a bit of a tap there going down the hill. He gets a really good run. Lewis doesn't quite get it. You'll see as it just upsets the car. Oh, it just taps the rear corner and it straightens the car up for a second. That's gutting, but now McNally is way out in front by a second. Lewis Ward still in 3rd place, so he's still on for a podium. Jake Robertson still trying to get past now Detige and Parisi with Hopley in front. Apparently Jack's cursed it. You called him sending one up the inside. Well, yeah, I didn't think about sending it up the outside though, did I? So this train is spread out a little bit now, which is probably good news for Hopley. We look at Fraser Smith, who is chasing down Lee Dima and really putting him under pressure down the straight. These two are not in the same class. Vranks has gone through and got ahead. Dima leads the AM category. These 3 cars behind him are all pro cars, so he doesn't need to really worry about them at the moment anyway. Commentators' curses all over the place. I tell you, it's a powerful trait to have. That's why I'm a bit scared of doing circuit commentary. If I say someone's doing well, what if someone gets hurt? Delmont off the track apparently. Oh, he's in the barrier and around. That's not ideal. Wow, who was that? That was Steve Clays going past. That's why you hold your brakes, kids. That is why you hold your brakes. Oh, it all came to a head in front. Parisi got a turn. Jake Robertson was in there as well. That was Detige going through. Delmont and Parisi side by side. Oh, Delmont just gets into the front of him. They were side by side. But this, ladies and gents, is why you hold your brakes. He's on the brakes, but Oh, Clay's got very unlucky there, into the wall. Hope it hasn't affected him too much. He's in 8th place at the moment. But little incidents like that, they don't need to happen. They really don't need to happen. You need to slam on your brakes in an incident and just make sure you are on the anchors. This is a great battle though. Dima really looking at this now. Got a good train of cars. Rashid wants to get through. Sorry, it's Fraser Smith. And we're inside the front of an RS3 at the moment. It's not an ideal place to be. Imagine it's a bit warm. But it's quite a hot circuit at the moment as well, by the look of it. But Dima doing a great job defending from these boys. The Inquisition's on the way though. There's Torres. And then Chaussenet just behind him there for some EU support. And Adam Delmont, I'm pretty sure, is going to try and initiate Brexit behind him. Let's not get political, shall we? Adam McNally still leads the race. Ben Thayens in 2nd place, the Belgian. He's doing a great job this race, isn't he, Ben? Get some claps in chat for Ben. I was going to type it out then, but I didn't click on the YouTube stream. Let's get some claps in chat for Ben. He's doing a smashing job. McNally, of course, race leader for the 2nd time tonight. But this is the closest battle on track now. We've got Dima, Smith, Torres, Vincent and Delmont. Sorry, Chaussenet and Delmont. I said the B word. Oh no. Oh, they're all over the shop here. Dima's getting away at this point. Oh, well, there goes Torres. Torres gets punted out of the way. There's the claps in chat. Thank you, everyone. It all came to a bit of a head down the inside. Oh, that big bit of contact, wasn't it, with Chaussenet's car? And now the 2 closest cars on the circuit are these pair. Everyone a bit spread out at the moment. Chaussenet with Delmont behind. Spanish Outquisition. Yes, that's very true, Ollie. Good banter, that, mate. I like that. And well, Delmont made that look easy, didn't he? I really, that just happened and got away from me there. But Delmont now off into the distance. Lewis Ward is still in 3rd place. Andrew Hopley is just behind with Tige and Robertson. Jake's done a good job actually. He's back to where he started the race at the moment, after going off early. Yes, that's very true, Ronald. Just clap if you're happy. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. 52 viewers, everyone. Thank you very much for coming in and watching tonight. We do have this every Tuesday for the next few weeks as well, so do not worry, there will be plenty of entertainment. Now stamp your feet, but not if you're in the race, because you might hit the brakes by accident, and we do not want people brake checking one another. Silkstone has Lennertz and Scott Angelo behind. Scott making a bit of a... Oh, well, he's making a bit of a name for himself there into Clearways, I'll tell you that. I was going to say that he's clearing his name from race 1 after having a bit of a nightmare, but that was a bit optimistic there on Lennertz. Great save, though, to be fair. Really good save. And the closest cars on track at the moment, well, have a guess. Thayens and McNally. And McNally is very, very close to winning his 2nd race out of 2. But Thayens doesn't want to let him do it. This is going to be the point of view then on the final lap of the race. It's gone so quickly by 25 minutes. Thank you very much, everyone. It is massively appreciated. Thank you very much, Ian. I want to do highlight that Ian typed that, not me. Oh, McNally's got a great run, though, out of the corner. Out the left-hander, he launches it. And it's looking like it's a great start, a perfect start to the season. Adam McNally, ladies and gentlemen, claps in chat Adam McNally takes race 2 of the day for XI Energy iRacing ahead of Ben Thayen's great result. Lewis Ward finishing in 3rd place. Matthias de Tiege is going to come home in 4th ahead of Andrew Hopley. He took him near the end. And he got 4th place off Andrew. Jake Robertson 6th. Connor Parisi crossing the line 7th. Steve Clay's there in 8th with Gregory Vranks. 14 places gained by Gregory. At the moment, though, he isn't going to be the biggest mover in the field. That's going to go to this guy. Jochen Lennertz is going to gain 16 places to finish in 18th position. What a drive that is. What a drive that is. But wow, what an amazing, amazing evening for this man, the Geordie, Adam McNally. He's going to be in an interview in just a moment to say aye for everything I ask him. But what an awesome night. There's still cars racing there, Adam. He would have scared the life out of them. That's Philip Hopley, sorry, and Andrew Payne is going to be behind these guys. Andy Fox just in front of him there. Here is Andrew Payne. It's going to be one of the last cars to finish. Mark Woodhouse still going, finishing in 30th place overall. Really not sure what happened to Mark. We'll have to have a chat with him afterwards. But well, we've hit over 50 viewers during this race. What did we all reckon to that? Did we enjoy that? Yes, don't forget the Senna Cocken Trophy for Jochen Lennertz. There is a trophy on for the guys that gain the most places in a race. There's Gregory Vranks, who finished in 9th position. Lee Deemer, of course. Don't forget, Lee Deemer won the AM category in that one. Lee Woodburn 2nd. Liam Silkstone 3rd. We cannot forget those guys as well. Fantastic result for them guys. It's always a very rewarding thing to win your class. We didn't mean to neglect that, boys. But Lee Deemer and Adam McNally taking the honours in their respective classes tonight. A fantastic start to the season for XI iRacing and XI iRacing Orange. And a fantastic start to the season for us as well, of course. What a great, great race that is. So, here are your results then of race 2. Adam McNally, top step for the 2nd time running, ahead of Ben Thayens, and Lewis Ward rounds out your podium. Then we have Matthias de Tiege ahead of Andy Hopley. Jake Robertson finishing 6th in the end, with Connor Parisi in 7th place, and Steve Clays in 8th. Gregory Vranks finishes in 9th, with Lee Deemer rounding out your top 10 and winning the AM category. Fraser Smith finishes 11th ahead of Adam Delmont, then Vincent Chaussenet and Alex Torres. The Spanish Inquisition not quite getting into the top 10. Lee Woodburn finishing in 15th ahead of Sebastian Denise, Liam Silkstone and Jochen Lennertz. Then we have Scott Angelo. Khan Nugent rounds out your top 20, with Carl Jacquelet in 21st. Rashid Kasim recovers to 22nd place, with Stuart Musselwhite 23rd, Dave Cyrus 24th, with Dean Timms in 25th. He's followed then by Andy Fox, Philip Hopley and Andrew Payne. Then the cars one lap down or more, Thorstein Eiserman, Mark Woodhouse, Scott Malcolm, and then the guys that didn't finish, Edward May, Thies van den Berg, Jeremy Hessels, Craig Jones, Jez Banks and Ryan Walker. So thank you very much everybody for the comments in the stream. We're just going to try and see now if there is anybody waiting in the interview room, and we do actually have someone with us. We have a Fraser Smith coming in to join us. Fraser, how are we doing, mate? Good to see you.
Well, what can I say? I mean, race 2 I had fun on a bit of a comeback. Race 1, I'll have to have a look back later, but yeah, great fun, good turnout. Just annoying when it's a case of what could have been, you know what I mean? But
yeah,
had fun.
Well, these cars are very sort of good for door-to-door stuff, aren't they? I mean, you can usually have a bit of a ding-dong here and there, a little bit of contact, and it doesn't completely turn around. We're just caught now your incident in slow-mo as well, just to add a bit more effect to it, of when Scott was in the middle of the circuit. What was your thinking when that was happening in front of you?
Oh, coming up into
Druids.
Turn 2, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a bit of a code brown, that one.
Yeah.
How I didn't end up facing the wrong way and completely out of the running, I have no idea. That was just a sort of get out of the way and hit the brakes. and then
Yeah.
look in the mirror kind of one. I was just quite happy to get away with that one, really.
Yeah, we can just see the multiple bits of contact going on around you there. It all sort of unfolded bit by bit, didn't it, that incident? But, you know, it's good that these cars are built like tanks quite a bit. We just saw the Fury Sim Sports car get turned around in front of you as well. I didn't actually catch that when it happened. But, you know, these things are quite sturdy bits of kit, aren't they? So you can carry on quite well after a bit of contact.
That's it, yeah. But one thing you notice is when you're sort of door to door with people, they do tend to sort of get stuck together. And it can end quite badly. Like in race 1, I made a move into Paddock Hill.
Yeah.
I'll have to look back on it anyway, but I must have had a bit of door-to-door contact with whoever it was against, and I ended up catapulted into the outside wall, and it was a big impact. But I carried on with no damage. It felt good as new, really. So that is a good thing. But yeah, you got to be a bit careful.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Well, hopefully it improves for next week, though. You know, it's always the case with a new season to go into. You know, there could be guys around you that you've not raced with before. Some people don't quite know how to or what to expect from it. So it usually gets better over the season. Of course, next week we are going to be travelling all the way over. While he loads up the calendar, all the way.
So, I won't make it to next week because I'm doing 2 different leagues on Tuesdays, which luckily my drop scores from both work out perfectly. But that means I'm doing this season on a no drop score, so
right.
I'll be as good as I can be every time. So I won't be there next week.
Oh, okay. Well, you're going to be missing Imola, but if you're back for the round after that, which is 2 weeks later, it's going to be at Snetterton. Is that a circuit you're a fan of?
Yeah, it's not one I've had much experience on because I've only been on iRacing for sort of 3 months or so.
Yeah.
I've only come from like Gran Turismo, so that hasn't got Snetterton. I know the track, but it's gonna be one I need to do a bit of testing on. I haven't even bought it on this yet, so.
Well, fingers crossed it goes well for you, mate. Obviously, if you do get the practice in, you should be all right. That's the thing with these cars, you know, you've got to put the time in. Just before we let you go, mate, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to this evening? Your first one of the season as well.
Oh God. Obviously, everyone over at BritTech, we all sort of work to try and help each other out with setups, etc. Had Nick Valtanar, who he put in. He sent me this setup and talked me through a few adjustments before the race, and obviously just everyone involved. Really, we try and work together. And well done to Dean tonight as well, my teammate. He had a good showing. So yeah, on to next time.
Smashing stuff, mate. Well, very well done anyway. Well done for sticking with it, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks, mate.
Yeah. Thanks for everything. See ya.
No worries. Cheers. Now, I said I was going to drag him in because I said that I always have to interview this guy. I mean, he's won 2 races tonight and he was unstoppable. Adam McNally joins us. Adam, I bet you're over the moon, mate.
Oh, unbelievable. Some great racing, especially race 1. Race 2 was a bit harder. My tyres died about 4 or 5 laps from the end and Ben was catching us. I was just trying to play it safe. But honestly, I'm sweating bucket loads. The racing has been mega.
Yeah, race 1, I couldn't breathe at the end of race 1, and I think even people watching in the chat were falling off the edges of their seats, mate. That was amazing, respectful racing as well, and obviously it was kept very clean. We didn't lose any of yous near the end. Of course, there was some really nice sort of gentlemanly racing as Lewis backed off to let, I think it was Detige back through. And, you know, it's stuff like that that makes a big difference in leagues like this. So, do you reckon it's going to continue for the whole season as people get more and more used to who they're racing?
Oh, I hope so. I feel a bit sorry for Mark disconnecting race 2. But my tyres don't really seem to come in until about lap 5, 6, and that's when I seem to pick the pace back up. So as long as I can stay, if I'm a bit further back, as long as I can stay with that lead group, I always think I can push a bit more.
Yeah.
And honestly, just tonight's been great.
Well, it's very well deserved, mate. I know how much effort you boys put in behind the scenes, and obviously Lee Deemer as well, getting the AM class win in that second race as well. So a very successful night for you boys all round.
Yeah, 2 what's it called? 2 marks for the history book. First Sim Racers win, Sim Racers touring car win, and first Sim Racers touring car double win.
Well, there you go then. straight off the bat. Good start to the season. We go to Imola next week. Is that a track that you reckon you can do well at as well?
I hope so. The Audi's great. Loving the way it handles. Just moved to direct drive. Getting so much more feedback from it as well. More confidence under the braking because of it.
Yeah.
And I quite enjoy Imola. And it's a big heavy car, so it should be able to monster them curves pretty good.
Yeah, fingers crossed, mate. Well, it's good to speak to you again, Adam. I'm sure we'll speak to you again next week, but very well done on your 2 wins, mate. You got a hell of a lot of clap emojis in the chat, and it's good to see the team doing well. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to before you go, mate?
Yeah, everyone at Simracersworld who does all the hard work behind the scenes. You for the broadcasts. Also like to say congratulations on your commentating.
Thank you.
Result you've just got. So
thank you, mate.
And also all of our sponsors at Excite Energy, Motorsport Days Live, Prio Premature Baby Foundation, Lux Sim 24, Race Cemento, and ASG UK.
Cracking stuff, Adam. Well, good to speak to you, like I say, mate, and I'll see you at Imola.
Right, thank you very much.
Cheers. Now, I'm kind of glad that he's popped in for a chat on this one. I think condolences are in order more than anything. I've got Mark Woodhouse in the booth with me. Mark, it was looking like it was going to be such a promising night for you, mate, when it all started. But what happened in the second one? Was it a disconnection?
My iRacing crashed, basically.
Oh,
so,
you're joking.
Mechanical failure, we'll call it.
Well, it's always good that we can look at it that way. I mean, it sounds like you're laughing about it, so that's always a good thing, mate.
That's all you can do.
Well, exactly. You obviously showed, again, just like you did in pre-season, that you've got amazing pace. How are you finding the Audi in this series, then? Do you think you can properly take it to the other boys if you don't have any more failures?
Yeah, hopefully. This week and last week probably me stronger tracks, so I probably won't be quite as good. But and we're going to have our time Iberian come back next week, I think. Miguel Freitas will be here, so I think he'll be taking it to us all next week.
Well, we'll have to see how you get on. Of course, the racing tonight, though, you still managed to have a couple of scraps and get your way back up the order. How did you find the racing overall?
Yeah, it was good. Sorry to Adam Dalmont for bumping him around a bit in the first race. Wasn't intentional, but yeah, it seemed quite clean from where I was. But further back, I think it might have been a bit more violent, shall we say.
Well, I'll go for the word lively. I think that's the way we're going to go for. But, I was just saying to Fraser before, with these sort of series, when you get a new championship or a new season starting, there are a lot of drivers that aren't used to driving around some of the other guys that they're with. And, you get personality clashes on track sometimes as well, as I'm sure you know from some of the other leagues that we've both been a part of. But fingers crossed, mate, when we go to Imola, you'll still have the pace and maybe get that elusive win that already seems to be slipping away.
Hopefully, yeah. I'll get one day.
Indeed, mate. Well, before I let you go, Mark, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to, buddy?
Yeah, to the organisers. So I've not been here long in this league, but they seem to be doing a good job. Obviously, my teammates at Team Mad and our sponsors, Overclockers, Fanatec, Small Time Productions, Phoenix Racing, Simon Racing Port, and Calder Rescue. That's our last one that we support.
Love it. Good stuff, mate. Well, great to speak to you again, Mark, and hopefully we'll see you on the top step at Imola and then speak to you after that one.
Yeah, hopefully. Fingers
Cheers,
crossed.
mate. Have a good night.
And you. Bye.
And one final interview of the evening. It wouldn't be right if we didn't bring this guy in. Andrew Hopley, series organiser and driver for Meraki Racing, joins me. Andrew, how are we doing, mate? Sorry, Andy, or should I say Princess Andy?
Princess Andy, please.
There we go. How are you doing, mate? You all right?
Not bad, mate. You?
Yes, yeah, really did enjoy that one. How did you find the racing overall tonight? It looked pretty tasty from where you were.
Well, firstly, I think congratulations is in order for yourself, mate, for securing your first or second real commentary deal for the S3000. So
thank you, mate. Much appreciated.
Yeah.
Much appreciated.
Congratulations, mate.
Cheers, buddy.
But yeah, tonight it's all about tonight. Simracersworld. From what I saw, it was difficult, but it was clean up at the front there. I know there's some carnage gone on behind in that second race there, but I haven't had a chance to have a look at it yet.
Yeah, there was a bit of argy-bargy going on, to say the least. The word I just used with Mark Woodhouse was lively. That's what we've gone with.
Okay.
But there was some great scraps up the front, though. I mean, even though there was obviously a lot on the line, there was race wins, podiums on the line. You boys were really getting your elbows out and properly getting stuck in, weren't you?
Yeah, that second race, I mean, I don't know why. I've really had some good pace in practice, but I just didn't have it tonight. And the second half of both races, my tyres were going and I was really struggling into turn 2. Everybody was just getting on me there. So we found myself pretty much in both races sat leading the second pack. And that second race there, I mean, I apologise to Connor, but I literally just backed him up into those guys, just praying that something was going to happen. So played it defensive early on. Just, I had to do it.
Well, you have to in some of these situations, mate. At the end of the day, it's tactical racing and obviously long game racecraft. But if it works, you get points on the board still. That's the main thing. It's a long game thing with these championships, with it not being a one-off event. So hopefully we'll continue to see you up there. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to, mate, before we let you go?
Oh, well, I think my wife is going to be the first one. She's, putting up. I've dedicated a lot of time to getting this series organised, and obviously that's had an impact at home. So, yeah, big thanks to the wife. The Meraki boys for supporting me. Lewis, especially, for coming on board and supporting the series. Ian, obviously, as well, for supporting, developing the series, and yourself. Thanks for coming and doing this for us. It's made all the difference, mate.
I really appreciate the opportunity, mate. It's fantastic. I just want to as well quickly say, everyone, claps in chat for Andy as well for the organisation behind the series. He's the main guy running the show with all this, and he's done an amazing job so far. And obviously, like I say, I'm very grateful for being given the opportunity to do this. So hopefully we get a hell of a load of claps in chat right now for Andy. But well done on your race results tonight, mate. It's been great to watch, and I'll probably speak to you in about 5 minutes when we're off air anyway. But
yeah.
On the stream, I'll speak to you next week at Imola.
That's great. If there's anybody I've missed, I do apologise. I know two other names that I just want to mention quickly. Sorry, Chaz. Is right. Anton Depan. He does all the spreadsheet work for the series behind the scenes, and also Ronald Moons for doing all the website material. So yeah, those two guys, that's me done. And yeah, thanks very much. I will maybe speak to you during the season.
Yeah, cracking stuff, mate. Thanks very much again, and we'll speak to you soon.
Take care, mate. Bye now.
Cheers. Andrew Hopley there, the legend that is Andrew Hopley, Andy Hopley, or Princess Andy, depending on how you want to call it. That brings us to the end of the evening tonight then in the Simracersworld TCR series, rounds 1 and 2 from Brands Hatch. It's been an absolutely epic evening of racing, and it has set us up very well for Season 2 to continue. Of course, we will be back same time next week for rounds 3 and 4 from Imola. I have been your host, Chaz Draycott, known to a lot of you as Chazlington. I wish you all a good evening, and we'll see you next time. Cheers!